in this week's episode, we talk about the world's hardest sport. Why Evan is wrong.
You fucking...
And give me something else, Ev.
Drake's huge Bobby.
There you go.
There you go. Let's go. Welcome back to another episode of the No Rep Podcast, episode 64, I think.
65.
64. I'm with the usual dobbers, Evan
How we doing?
and Nathaniel Bedingfield.
Hi there.
How are we?
Very well. How are you, brother?
You're not, don't lie.
It's fantastic. I had matcha.
Right, so we went for a wee coffee before you got here, just round the corner, and Evan got a
Matcha and white chocolate brownie. Fucking
Matcha and white chocolate brownie. So you didn't have matcha.
not
drink?
not let a drink.
But I've never had anything matcha in my
Have you
life, and it blew me away.
Go to Asia.
2
Everywhere.
minutes.
Hop to number 21.
Everything's matcha.
Kit Kats, matcha fucking Maltesers.
What even
Dynamite.
is it though? Does matcha grow?
It's
Fuck
it's
knows.
a tea leaf.
Is it?
Aye. Ground tea leaf.
Fuck no.
A ground tea, like tea leaf of sorts.
Anyway, what were you up to?
I was getting a gate analysis done.
A what?
Gate analysis done.
Ah, right in the treadmill
On the
thing.
treadie,
Ah,
mate.
right, okay.
Getting fitted for shoes.
Sick.
That was sick. That was good. I was in there for fucking ages.
I know.
Just talking, man.
We know.
All things running.
Trying on our shoes.
But no, we were actually just talking. We were talking off air about a lot of things that we can't repeat. But then we're also talking about Tyson and Jake Paul
Tyson.
fighting.
Tyson.
Now I've
Thoughts
got my take on this, and my take personally is that Mike Tyson will lose, and the reason for that is because he's 60 years old.
But he's not just a 60-year-old man. He's 60-year-old Mike Tyson.
This is true, right? No, I totally understand that.
Do you know what I mean?
I totally get that, and I'm not disputing that fact. However, right, he's went through lapses of being like fat as fuck. He's went through lapses of not training. He's went through lapses of just fucking constantly taking mushrooms and smoking weed. Like, how much has he been training? All of this shit you need to take into consideration as well, right? I would like to hedge my bets that he will lose. He will lose because if you look at it, Jake Paul isn't great, right, in terms of the world of professional boxing, but he's probably got better from fight 1 to fight 7, 8, whatever he is on the now. He's probably got better every single time, in my opinion, right? And he's probably fought, potentially, apart from the fucking, I don't know, the bricklayer he fought fucking last weekend, he's probably fought arguably better talent as it's gone on. Like he fought Ben Askren, not very good. Tyron Woodley twice or whatever. Guy was a bit of a legend in MMA. So the things have got better. So he's probably getting better. I don't think Mike Tyson's getting any better. So,
But once
This is either going to expose Jake Paul against somebody who is arguably one of the greatest boxers of all time.
of all time, I
Uh,
would never argue that.
or it's just going to show you what you would anticipate, which is a younger fucking athlete beating an older athlete. Do you know what I mean?
What do you think the repercussions are? Repercussions or the knock-on effect if Paul loses?
Nothing. He has nothing to lose.
It's Mike Tyson.
He's fought
man.
Mike Tyson.
Obviously, it's a 60-year-old man, though,
Yeah.
so that'll be the full narrative. But still fought
But
fucking Mike Tyson.
see if he loses, nobody on planet Earth is going to be like, all right.
Fucking lost.
People
It's
are
Mike
gonna-
fucking Tyson.
People are going to be like, you know what, you were meant to lose.
Aye.
Like, of course, like we were all right all along. Nothing changes, and he go off, and you know what, you'll fight someone else, and he'll still continue to make a lot of money, right? Nothing changes, but
Yeah.
everything changes for. Not everything changes for Tyson, to be honest, because at the end of the day, everybody forgets that he fought fucking what's he's called 2 years ago, or whatever, Roy Jones Jr. Everybody forgot about that, and the fight was actually pretty shite.
Yeah, he lost, didn't he?
No.
No,
Did he
I
win?
think
Did he
it
win?
was like a
Tyson won.
Was it? I thought it
Oh
was a
no,
draw.
maybe in a draw.
I think it was a
Maybe in
draw or
fucking
something.
draw.
Exactly. None of us fucking know because it wasn't even that exciting.
No,
it
and
was
it's-
two old
And
guys
they're
in a ring.
exhibitions as well, aren't they?
Well, at the end of the day, two people in a ring fucking fighting. Two great
They were
boxers.
carrying each other a wee bit. Well, Tyson was carrying him a wee bit in parts of the fight and stuff like that.
Aye.
And it wasn't like that. When you want to watch it, I think these are two guys trying to fucking do each
But
other.
that's how it was promoed, man. You look at the promo, you get, oh, Mike
Money in
Tyson
it.
can still hit, and he's still got, look all the speed he's still got, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like,
I would love nothing more than to see Tyson hammer Paul.
Would you?
I would love it.
Oh, I think
I
it'd
like
be great.
Jake Paul, man.
Do you know? I
Eh,
actually don't I don't
I
dislike
like
him, but I would love to see it.
Yeah,
Just
But
cause.
I like
Here-
him a lot more than his brother. That's for sure.
But do you know what my thing? It doesn't seem to me like there's a real fight happening here. It's
No.
just a wee bit fucking out the blue, out the woodwork.
Yeah,
There's a lot of funny promo videos getting
It's on
kicked about
Netflix
that.
and
It's
all
on
that.
Netflix. What's happening here?
I feel like,
Do you know what I mean?
I feel like
Aye.
it has came about like rapid.
yeah,
Like see
Aye.
him and
Yesterday.
yeah.
Literally,
like
yesterday.
see like, him and fucking Tommy.
Uh-huh.
That went on for like, how long?
The build-up for
build up
ages,
to that.
aye.
This has just been like.
Well, the build up is still June or July or something.
Oh, is that when? Is that?
It's still a while
Oh, is
away.
that right? Okay. Ah, but he has just fought.
Mhm. Yeah.
Jake Paul
Aye, so
did
we need a
fight
few
some
months
fucking
between.
nobody. The weird thing about it is that I feel like how far can you kind of rinse this boxing thing?
The influencer
Jake?
boxing.
Yeah, like how far when can we just get boxers boxing again?
Aye.
Like, because
Well,
even
who-
tonight, Anthony Joshua is fighting fucking
And Gary?
Francis Ngannou, right?
Aye.
Fighting him. He's still MMA. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
Right? But it's the biggest draw in boxing at the minute for
Have
people who are
you-
non like just casual
Aye.
viewers.
But
It's the biggest draw.
You watch UFC, right? You watch the build up, you watch the press conference, you watch the weigh-ins, you watch the embedded, right? Boxing is dire because it's all fucking guys that are still wanting to have their face all over it.
Mhm.
It's just not going to work. Nobody cares. Like, and they're so like regimented in their ways and cemented and like this is boxing, this is what it's all about.
This is how
Your
we do it,
sport is
yeah.
just going to die.
But it's not. But
It's just
I don't
gonna
think they
die.
are cemented in their ways.
No, but I think I don't think they're cemented in their ways. But when you've got older dudes who want to try and call the shots still, who haven't got a fucking finger on what people actually want, they kind of are. Do you know what I mean?
It needs
They're
a
not
total revamp.
They're not getting to fuck out the way. And I think as well, do you know what would be good? See, making a one division championship like UFC for boxing, that'd be sick. That'd be fucking sick. You imagine that? Because you can get hype, you can get a bit of build up on the fighters. The best will actually fight the best. And this is the problem with boxing. The best don't fight the best. The best fight a version of the best. And then that's how it's always went. And
It's weird though.
it kills the sport, and it's killed the sport.
It's weird though because people complain that UFC fighters don't get paid enough. Right?
Yeah.
And then boxers get paid a lot, but people complain that the fights they want to see happen don't happen.
Don't happen.
So then it's like they kind of both need to learn from each other.
Yeah.
So if someone was to come in and create a fighting organisation, at the end of the day, none of us have done that. So we don't know, right? People need what pays all these fighters is big sponsorships, bums on seats, pay-per-view buys. Right? That's ultimately what's fucking going to drive this. So I think that. Like, yeah, you're right. UFC get the best fighters from the best places, and they all fight and blah blah blah. And it's the best v the best. In boxing, it's a little bit different in that regard, but there's a lot more money involved. Why is that?
I don't have
why?
a fucking clue.
Why is that?
Older sport.
Is it not just like, well, you've got, I think the money was drying up. This is why Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, are making, they are the ones that are forcing the comeback in boxing.
Oh,
It's
it's
their
weird.
money.
Have you seen the picture that fucking one of them posted? Like, this guy who's obviously funding the whole thing from it's Saudi, right?
Yep,
It's this
Saudi.
guy, this Saudi guy, right? Obviously oil money coming out of fucking every orifice. Like, he's in a room with like all this memorabilia and all that, with his arms around all of them, right? Like Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Francis Ngannou, Cristiano Ronaldo was there and all.
Conor McGregor was there as well.
Was Conor
he not?
McGregor there?
Sure, he was
he's
there.
got his arm around all of them, and they're all just smiling like this
Aye.
in his fucking living room or something. And I'm
Aye.
like, I
Money
think,
talks.
he's
I think
the daddy.
everybody's just like pure sound. This guy's just went like Hunger Games vibes. Went like, right, guys, I'm going to create this. You're going to fight him, and you're going to and
Yeah,
it's just, I'm
imagine.
going to give you 10 million, you 10 million, you,
Yeah,
you
imagine.
50
See,
million.
if you've got enough cash, man, you can do anything. The thing is, it's actually nearly like, inconceivable how much like a billion actually is.
Yes.
Like people think a billion's just a little bit more. A billion's a lot of money. Like
It'd take a lot of counting to get.
it's just so
It's a
fucking
thousand million.
a
isn't it?
1,000 million. That's a lot of zeros.
It's fried.
So if this guy's an oil, I was going to say baron, a sheik or whatever he is, and he's got 40 billion, Mental.
billion
Oh,
probably.
ridiculous. You
Well,
can do. You can do it. You can
I actually
literally
think
do
that-
whatever you want.
I actually think that those guys are richer than the Elon Musks and all the rest of it. It's
You
that
just
their
wouldn't
money's
know.
Just not, you just don't know. Do you know what I mean? Because he's even said that. He's like, oh, you're the richest man in the world. And he's like, I'm nowhere near it. Like, do you know what I mean? Which is
Aye.
fucking nuts. But anyway.
Wild.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Is what it is. Is what it is.
Look, have you seen the shit about Ryan Garcia?
The what? Oh, yes, actually.
Like, either he's
What the
trolling,
fuck?
he's trolling, right? Either just pure big time trolling, or he got kidnapped.
Have you seen this?
Well, so I loosely saw what was happening, but I couldn't actually find any information because people were talking about a video of him. I couldn't find this fucking video.
So
Go to TikTok, you'll find it, man. It's
there was a YouTube video I watched, and basically his behaviour's changed over the course of the last 8 to 12 months. And this guy was talking in the background of it, and he's basically been like, he's starting to show signs of like either alcohol abuse or drug abuse, just with the way he's slurring his words or the way that he's kind of behaving, and fucking he's like this all the time, and
his face is changing.
his face is changing and all that, and he looks fucking coked at his nut, to be honest. And he was on there might have been some bits I've missed there, but he was on a broadcast on X, which feels weird to say on
Formerly
Twitter.
Twitter.
With Andrew Tate, wasn't he?
I don't know.
He was on a
Was
broadcast.
it Tristan Tate?
No, Andrew and
Was it-
Tristan Tate,
yeah.
right? And then he was like, they had me in the woods, bro. They tied me up. They forced me to watch kiddie porn and all that. And
The
it's
fuck?
yeah, and Andrew Tate's on the back, and he goes, "Where or what?" He just asked him like a
Where?
because I just seen like a clip of it. I didn't see the whole thing because I don't know if it's maybe taken down now or whatever. And I was just saying all this mad, wild.
And he said the
out there
place and
stuff.
Paul, what's it called? Starts with a B and Bohemian Grove. I don't even want to fucking say it, man.
Why?
Bohemian Grove or something.
Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove, right? And
I
that's where it is, and that's the place that what's that nutter that exposed it initially? Alex Jones. Cheers, Paul. Alex Jones. He exposed it initially,
Right.
right? And talking about like all the elites get together.
Pizza parties. No, that shit.
This is like they all go round, they worship like this god. I can't remember what the god's called, and they all chant and fire. But he got in, he infiltrated and got footage.
That's
Alex
fucking
Jones,
wild.
right? Got actual footage, and this is why he's been pure attacked constantly
Oh, yeah,
all the
he's
time.
been right
obviously,
quite a lot of times, hasn't he?
He's been right quite a lot of times,
Quite a lot.
which is wild. So this is Ryan Garcia said he get took there, get kidnapped and get took there, and Ryan Garcia went back just like recently with his phone and started filming bits where he get took and all that. Hundreds of shit's going on, and
Were
it's a
folk
bit mad.
not saying that? Well, I don't even know if folk were saying this, but I saw a little bit saying that his video or the things he was doing were AI generated.
Who?
Ryan Garcia.
Ryan Garcia.
Right.
So like, was it actually him chatting shit, or was it?
Well,
How
have you
do
seen
we
the recent?
fucking
Have you seen
know?
the recent footage that came out? Him sitting in a room saying, "I've took my phone. I can't go onto Instagram. I can't contact. I'm just saying to my friends and family, I'm all right."
Yeah.
But he then came out jogging and says, "Guys, I'm just trolling."
Did he?
Aye, just recently. So you don't know if he's
Nice.
as trolling. You don't know if he's been getting told to
Fucking
say.
be
wild,
honest,
man.
You don't know if he's
Like-
just on one.
I don't really, because see when Ryan Garcia burst onto the scene, right? I was a big fan.
Yeah.
Right? I actually thought, this is
He was
exciting.
sick, man.
Right, this is exciting. He's
It
young,
was his fast hands,
good
man.
looking, good chat. Fucking, he was doing all that stuff like with Gymshark and all that. They were hyping him up and
Yep.
stuff like that. And I thought this guy's like a real prospect. And then I feel like there's a common theme with anyone that's thrusted into the limelight from a young age.
To the sound.
They just
Can't
change.
deal
They
with it.
don't know how to handle it, and they just go all fucking weird and loopy. And like, obviously, they get beat off fucking Tank Davis or whatever not that long
Aye,
ago.
but that's fucking. You can't even count that as a loss, man.
Well, no, he get knocked out.
Aye, but the rehydration, like Tank, Tank was one of my favourite fighters until the fucking rehydration clause. You can only
Yeah.
get £10 back. They just didn't. They gave him every excuse not to take the fight, and Ryan Garcia kept saying, "Yep," to make it happen. So that's another one. Garcia, Tank knew Garcia, he's heavy as weight. That's a problem for fucking, like, he was dehydrated. Like a skeleton in the ring. Like, do you know what I mean? So anyway,
By the by, he got knocked
Yeah.
out, right?
Yeah.
And then since then, there's been this weird decline. And I think that when you combine
First loss.
people get first loss, people getting thrust into the limelight too young, drugs and alcohol,
Yep.
like you put all that in you stir the pot, you're gonna get some fucking crazy shit being said.
See, speaking about getting thrust into the limelight too young,
Like
have you
Jackson.
seen? Have you seen the stuff with fucking Drake? Like not music Drake and Josh Drake.
No, I
From
thought
the-
you were going to
from-
say the thing about Drake with his massive dick. Have you seen that? You seen the video? No, it was a video, and so some bird was like,
but no,
somebody
but
filmed
about
him, he fucking caught
the
him, that's
abuse in Nickelodeon and all that. Have you seen anything about that?
man.
it. Nah.
We're not going to chat about it too much, but basically, like, fucking apparently Nickelodeon was seedy, nasty, bad.
Hollywood, but
Oh,
do you see the fact
Seems
Tom
to be a
We're not
Segura?
surprised.
seems to be a narrative,
Do you see
doesn't it?
Tom Segura and what's that fucking weird comedian always goes on Joe Rogan with the fucking long beard, long hair?
Ari Shafir.
Nah, quite weird. Talks funny and all that. Anyway, they were talking. They were obviously taking the piss. He's like, "Yeah, Hollywood's weird. It's like I had to go into like a red room and I was tied up, naked, upside down. Guys came in, touched me seductively, and then next thing I know, I had an agent in a Sony commercial and all that. Like, but then you're like, are you joking or are you like, what's going on?
Did either that happen to you or your mate?
Yeah, like something's fucking happening here. Lots of weird shit happening, but I do think that when, because you've seen it with other people, what's his face, the actor, just do it.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah,
Shia LaBeouf.
young actor,
Yep.
100%.
Apparels. You're seeing it too, right? Bit of a mad topic change in
Segue.
CrossFit also.
Wow.
Mental change, right? A lot of young female CrossFitters who like burst onto the scene quite young or whatever are like falling off or struggling to
Those
deal
two
with
in
it
the same
mentally.
year, weren't there?
right?
It was-
So Hayley Adams was one of them,
Mal
right?
O'Brien.
Mal O'Brien was another one. Mal O'Brien got second. She's like, if she competes again, she'll win it. Tia Claire Toomey's not competing this year, so she'll win it. She's like, I can't handle it. No, I'm out, gone. Adios, see you later. She's even taking a break this year, not doing it. And it's like, I do think that there's a thing where if people don't have the right, and it's not like that they had necessarily had the wrong support systems. At the end of the day,
Matt Fraser.
that Mal O'Brien had Matt Fraser in her corner, so you'd like to think that that's like probably one of the best support systems you could possibly have. 5-time former champ, but when they're in front of the fucking the limelight, they just couldn't handle it.
Uh-huh. You think like it's all under 20, right? Or 20, round about 20, right?
Aye.
And they're getting treated like adults. And you're no, let's be
Yeah.
fucking honest. Like, you're they're getting treated. Like Matt Fraser would have done good, obviously, right? But he'd have probably still been putting a lot of pressure on a teenager who did compete at the highest level.
But I think
at
it's all
that
like
fucking
it's
age,
even
like,
the social
Aye.
from social media
Pressure
pressures
on
from that
there and-
end.
100%.
Do you know what I found? I found as well at the weekend with High Rocks there. Don't know if you know that High Rocks was on at the weekend.
was it?
What's
I've
a
not
high-
heard
what's a High
anybody
Rocks?
talk about it.
We'll talk about
Do you know what I've
later.
not heard about it? Talk
Paul's
about
laughing
it?
in
Because
the
I've not
background.
actually seen any times get posted in it.
No
I've just
times,
seen
no pictures.
people. The pictures are shite, bro.
Pictures are so bad.
No, I've
But-
actually seen no times getting posted, but something like that.
Do you know some
Most of the
people?
time.
Do you know? So there's people that I've seen who struggle to cope with the pressure of even that. And what I mean by that is that I noticed that there was a lot of, whether it be coaches or whether it be people who fucking live and breathe it, home tough, let me fucking do this thing. They just go out way too fast. They go out way too hot. They blow up and they can't handle it.
Yep.
They cannot handle it. It's not to say that they've not handled it in the past, but it's just that the pressure maybe got too big.
Yeah.
So they try to overperform and over-deliver, and they fucked it.
They've created expectations of what they think people want from them, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, well, and I feel like that happened. People are probably getting in their head like, people expect me to podium here. Or people
Yeah.
expect me to fucking do well here.
Aye. It's
And
not
they do. They
Wee
just
bit,
go
wee
out
bit of
too
ego
hot.
in there as well.
a wee
Definitely.
bit, man. Like,
Wee
he's
bit, man.
huge.
Do you know
Wee
what
bit
it's
ego.
like, right? And this is, I'm not digging you out, anybody that done High Rocks, because I do what I do, but I'm digging you out. So, see, like, in school, no, in college, did you just go to college, both of you?
Yeah.
Brilliant, right? See, when you were in the class and there was constantly just kind of, they thought they were better than they were, right? And they, at the end of like basketball, the end or something, all you heard was fucking excuses as to why this happened and that happened, and it just done your nothing, right? Because nobody likes somebody just constantly giving excuses. Just
Yes.
know that good.
Yes.
That's kind of what
High Rocks.
High Rocks is like, right? The people who would moan in fucking college class, they're not just staying.
Mate, I love that.
And all moaning.
I used to
Do
hate
you know what
a
I mean?
couple of people in my fucking college
Oh,
class.
same,
It wasn't
mate.
even from the sport. They just thought they were smart as fuck, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm smarter than you, you cow.
Well,
And
I made a post, right, that got a lot of traction, right, and it was just words. It was there was no like picture behind it. It was just what I put up my story, and I've honestly, genuinely, I got more reactions and engagement off this than when I posted a picture of not Hattie being born, but when Hattie was born. And even like my engagement and all that, this got more interaction.
You're just saying what everybody was thinking.
Than
Because I'm
that.
sitting scrolling through my feed, like, the fuck's going on onto your story? And I was like,
So
retweet,
everyone
brother.
had like a fucking, I don't know, like an actual letter confessing
Aye.
their poor performance and as to why they didn't live up to the
And then
expectations.
I retweeted a bit. I reshared your
Yeah.
post, right?
Uh-huh.
And had people messaging me.
Did you?
Well, you can't take into consideration that's all this fucking stuff. And I'm
Hold on,
like,
I'll read my thing and then we'll come back to that because some people might not have seen it. But I said, don't complain about the results you didn't get from the work you didn't do. And then I had a wee blurb underneath it saying, big congrats to the folks that attended High Rocks, or big congrats to the folks that battered High Rocks and they didn't give an excuse as to why they didn't do it as good as they hoped. Now, that's not to say that everybody has bad performances, bad days, bad whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've experienced a fair few of them this
Sad.
season.
Yep.
Shit happens. It's not because you maybe didn't prepare well, you didn't, it just maybe wasn't your day or you didn't get what you hoped.
The scoreboard doesn't lie.
That's one thing. The scoreboard doesn't lie, and also people. I get this a lot in CrossFit as well. People are like, oh, I could have went faster there. I could have went harder. I could have went. See, if you could have, you would have.
Mm-hmm.
You genuinely, do you know what I mean?
Aye.
If you could have went faster, you would have. See, if you could have picked the wobble up earlier,
Aye.
you would have. If you could have sandbagged lunge quicker, you would have. Yeah, I'm just pointing out the obvious that if we circle back to my original.
it all needs to be taken
Post.
a bit more light-hearted.
Exactly. Don't complain about the results you didn't get from the what you didn't do. And somebody actually asked me and were like, look, was this aimed? Like, did you aim this? And I was like, no, it was not aimed, right? I seen some posts, I seen some things, but it wasn't aimed at any individual. But I was like, listen, if the shoe fits, please feel free to stick it on.
Mm-hmm.
Feel free to stick that on. If you feel that that is aimed at you, fucking wear that bitch. Do you know what I mean? I don't give a fuck, right?
100%.
In all honesty. But yeah, it got a lot of traction and a lot of people agreeing with me. So it must have resonated with some folk, but there you go. High Rocks happened at the weekend.
Apparently.
Just to catch us up.
Do you know, I read something, and I'm going to absolutely butcher this, and it was something along the lines of High Rocks is for CrossFitters that don't want to learn gymnastics and stuff.
Yeah.
And CrossFit's for people that want to do High Rocks that I can't remember.
I get what you mean.
They
It is
don't
though.
want to run, probably.
Someone-
yeah, they don't want to run. That's exactly. I think that was exactly it. Yeah.
Some people, I seen a post today, is that High Rocks is rebranding to Diet CrossFit. Like just different But see, the thing is, right, I actually really liked the weekend. I didn't compete. I did it the year before. But I actually really liked the weekend and it was actually insanely busy.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculously busy. Like I have never been in a room filled with so many people. It was busier than like a concert.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like full of people fucking exercising and doing this thing. And I thought, you know what? That's sick. That's cool. Whatever your thoughts, opinions, beliefs are on High Rocks as a whole, you cannot deny the impact that it's had on fitness in the UK.
I don't think
Because
anyone
it's
is, but
I agree with you. Do you know my little tiny thing about it is would all these people do it if there was no cameras?
I think so.
I don't.
I think so.
I don't think so. I think a lot of people.
Maybe not as many, but
I think a lot of people just do it literally for the pictures, which is fine. People can do that for fucking whatever reason. It just doesn't sit right with me.
I think because it's so accessible, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
It is.
so fucking
Oh, it's mad.
accessible.
Listen,
So I
you've
think that's
seen-
how
you've
it's
seen
took
people,
so
you've
much
seen
traction.
people walking round the course. I said this countless times at the weekend. I was like, see, there's people walking round. There's people really out of shape doing it. There was old people doing it. Like there was a guy who was like 70 years old.
Love
took him
that,
3
man.
hours to do it. Did it himself.
You're on yourself,
I thought,
bro.
fucking let's go. Do you know what I mean? Like that's sick.
I
Like,
think so much positivity has came from it as well.
100%, 100%.
my
So
wee take on
Katie's like that. Why do you always fucking take the piss out of it and all that? And I'm like, because it's funny, right?
To start conversations, Katie.
I like to exactly. I like to start a bit of chat. I like to
Everything's
ruffle a few
free game,
feathers.
man. See
It's-
everything.
It's funny, and see if you get your fucking knickers in a twist about me taking the piss, then
Untwist your fucking.
untwist your fucking knickers. Then, like, stop being so fucking uptight about it. It's
Aye.
just a wee joke, just
It's
a wee
just
bit of
an
banter.
hour workout.
And at the end, well, it's
2 hours
actually
for some people, but it's
two
had
for,
a-
the, 2 for the slow folks, but it's just under
It's-
one for me because I'm fucking
Of course,
rapid.
brother.
But mashallah.
What was your time when you done it?
I did it with someone. I did it as if I didn't do it solo.
With Slow James.
I did. I did it with my boy Dean.
Dean boy.
Dean Flannery.
I was talking to him about it yesterday. So
Like a 4-day call up. Like, hey, one of the boys has pulled out. Do you want to do it? I think it was like an hour 2 or an hour 3 with a 2-minute penalty as well because I couldn't burpee broad jump right because I've never done it before. Apparently I was cheating. Bro, I'm doing a burpee. I'm doing a broad jump. Apparently you can't like fall into the burpee. You have to put your hands where your feet
Stop,
are.
innit? No.
Yeah.
For
Guy was telling me that. I just chose not to listen. So then 2 minutes struck off our time. So when we were near the under an hour thing, but we were doing it before. It was cool, man. Before it was cool. Do it again. I said to him actually. I said to Dean, I was like, listen, we run that back. We'll
do you know Dave?
do it sub.
would I not do it?
Aye.
No, I would do it just for the pictures, but no,
Yeah, mate, I don't know if you'd want the pictures. You see them nicking them, man.
no.
What did he do? Hold on, right.
I think they just video and screenshot, bro.
I
No,
would do it.
public service announcement to the Hyrox photographers. What you doing? What you doing? But like, there's when you go into the event, when you go into the Hyrox event, there are fucking tens of photographers at every station. Every station there's a different photographer, and they're there all day. Tens of thousands of pounds worth of camera equipment, like so much camera equipment, fucking lenses bigger than me, attached to the end of the fucking camera. Why do they look like that?
Because they're fucking stupid.
Why do they look like that?
But I know a
Not
guy.
enough
I know a
time
guy
to
that's
edit
really
it.
good at
No,
photos.
but they're edited. Don't edit them, and they would probably look better.
Yeah,
Why do they look like that?
it's just the look they've got to go for, right?
People pay for them.
Did actually?
People pay for them.
They're not
You have to
free.
buy them. You have to buy those photographs. You have to purchase them. So you're spending money, 100 quid to run in a hall, right? Already, pants are down, right? Then like, you want shit photographs, right? Of you
We're gonna
running
charge you
around a
more.
hall. That's when they're going in dry.
Upsell.
Yeah.
That's when they're going in.
Upsell.
That's when they're going in dry,
Aye.
shafting you royally, and be like, here, more money
Yeah.
for your shite pictures.
Aye.
There you
Pants
go.
aren't even getting pulled back up, just left in.
Just left there in a wee ball of despair. Right? Honestly,
And
I
a
d-
twist.
yeah,
and a
like
twist.
literally fucking sort it out. I could take better pictures on my phone.
You probably could.
Yeah,
No, like,
Hattie
1000%.
could fucking take better pictures.
They're fucking
than
horrendous.
Your
So
phone.
Hilux fucking sort it out. Maybe they're doing the Starbucks effect.
The
Like,
Starbucks
The
effect.
Starbucks effect. So it was a market employed by Starbucks. Is that they spell people's names on the
Yeah,
cups wrong on purpose,
wrong.
so
So
then
they
people take
post
a
it?
picture and then they post it. That's a theory anyway. Maybe they're posting
let's
shite
post
pictures.
shite photos so nobody buys them.
Not
So
so
they
if
lose
they
money.
buys them, so that people talk about them. Like, oh, the
That
pictures
is
are so
fannies
shit.
on this podcast.
Exactly. So free
We've
adverts
fallen
for
into
you.
their marketing ploy.
Anyway, enough about fucking high rocks.
You made a post.
I made a post.
You
Did
made
you?
a thing on your story.
I did.
Yeah, I quite liked it. I thought it was an interesting take. Feel free to share with our audience.
So obviously the CrossFit Games quarterfinals, qualified. What were they? What was it?
CrossFit Open's on right
Open,
now.
sorry, terminology is on just now, and I saw someone post their result, and that I am the 1042nd fittest person on earth, and it didn't sit right with me because I basically posted on my Instagram stories that look, realistically, if you look at the amount of people that do CrossFit, the amount of people in the world, you're probably not. What you are is the 1042nd fittest person at CrossFit, not on earth. I actually got so much interaction from that.
Yeah.
Like loads of people saying, "Oh, but it's this, and they do this, and they do the gymnastics, and all that." There's
It's a
8 billion people in the world.
yeah. It's a great
a lot of
great talking point, right? For a few reasons, and I think that. You know, one of them is that so if you take that 1,000th person, or it probably might have even been quite lower than that because 1,000's actually relatively high. I think like 350,000 people sign up to it, so 1,000's actually fucking pretty up there. So if you were to take like say the fittest person, the number one winner,
First to take myself. Yeah.
would you argue that? Would you argue that the person last year who won it, Jeffrey Adler, isn't the fittest person in the world?
Yes.
Would you?
Well, I would actually say what I would say is it's not impossible, but it's probably improbable.
And why is that?
Just from sheer sample size.
Right.
Look at it. See, the thing is as well, that how do you define fittest?
Of course.
Right? Do you define it with, obviously CrossFit covers all these areas, and they do the skipping, did they not do shooting one year as well, and all this?
Not at the games, I don't think.
Not at the games, but they do all this fucking shit. Right? But who's to say that defines you as the fittest person? What about rock climbing? That's really fucking difficult.
It's difficult, but
Do you know what I mean?
Is it the difficult games or the fitness games?
I know, but it's CrossFit. It's a sport.
You're
but
right.
This is the thing.
What
as
other
well.
sport defines fitness?
There's loads of sports.
What other competition out there is it where you test your fitness?
I've heard that one. High rocks.
Fucking
No,
triathlons, decathlons.
right.
I would probably a decathlon would be harder and more.
But you're saying no, hold
testing.
on. You're saying harder, right? So you're saying harder. These things are harder, right? It's not to say that any sport's harder than the next one, because I've got a bit of a segue. It's like, what is the hardest sport in the world, right? But so if you look at CrossFit, for example, CrossFit's objective of the CrossFit Games is to find the fittest person, male, female, or team in the world in the
At CrossFit.
area that they
At
define
CrossFit.
fitness in.
At CrossFit.
Exactly, right. But there's no other competition that measures all aspects of fitness, right? So yeah, you could do a decathlon, but you're mostly just running. You throw a couple of things, right? But you're mostly running. You could measure triathlon, but all you're doing is running, cycling, and swimming. You could measure long distance running, long distance swimming, rock climbing. You can measure all these things, but they are very specific to that one thing.
One dimensional.
It's very one-dimensional.
Do you know what the problem is, or that I find with it, is it's very Americanized with it, because have you ever seen like the NBA championships or baseball, whatever, and the team that wins that are the world champions, right? It's only America that's taking part. So how the fuck are the world champions?
But you're not.
Do you
So
mean
there's
the
many.
Probably,
the thing
they
is,
probably are the best team.
do you know what's funny though? There is many flaws in what you've said, many, because there's no other sport that actually tests all areas of fitness, endurance, strength,
But
mobility. all the
there'll
rest
be
of it.
areas that it doesn't test.
Right, potentially, but it tests more than the rest. It does. So that's point number one, right? Point number two is that you say it's very Americanized, except there hasn't been, on the last podium, I don't think there was actually an American man on it. There was a Canadian man, a Russian man,
And a Canadian man.
and another Canadian man. I
Yeah,
think,
but I'm not
right?
talking about
So-
participants.
So
I'm
you say,
talking
so,
about
so you say it's Americanized.
the body.
Not a single American won it last year in the men's division, right? So it's not Americanized.
No, but
And
the,
then-
the concept and the sport, the
Oh,
terminology,
of course, it's
and all
fucking.
that sort of-
It's coined in America. It's all
exactly.
thingy, whatever. The third flaw in your argument
Uh-huh.
is that you say it's the fittest person at that thing, right?
I know.
If we were to say, right, and because I think one of your arguments online was that, well, it was exactly that. But if you were to take any sport and any competition, right, Mike Tyson is only regarded as one of the best fighters of all time because he competed in boxing, because he decided to compete. You could argue that his next door neighbour, who maybe trained him or trained with him every single day, that chose not to compete, was better than Mike Tyson.
It could be.
Exactly, but we don't know because he never competed. Therefore, Mike Tyson is the fittest, or not the fittest, is the best boxer of all time. The reason why Cristiano Ronaldo's won the Ballon d'Or, however the fuck you pronounce it, right, the award that footballers get, is because he decided to lace up his boots and play for a football team, right, for all his years. His wee buddy, his wee mate Mike, might be better than him, but never done it. Therefore, he isn't the best because he decided not to compete.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is right. No, that's what I'm saying is right. You can't, but it's all coming back down to the actual, like, the fact of it. It could be the fittest on earth with a wee star next to it from the people that competed in the sport of CrossFit. Do you know what I mean? So why?
Yeah, but that's what CrossFit is. It's the sport of fitness.
Oh, it's a sport of CrossFit.
It's a sport of fitness. CrossFit is defined as the sport of fitness. There's no other thing out there that is defined as the sport of fitness. Tell me something else that is, and I'll happily entertain it.
Whatever that Dmitry Klokov does.
Olympic weightlifting.
I know, but he's got his own sport that's like kind of CrossFit hybrid type thing.
Does he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like
Dmitry
his
Klokov?
own kind of fitness race style vibes thing. The thing is the overarching theme is they could. I never said they weren't the fittest person. It's not impossible. They could be. I do think it's improbable.
You just need to look at, okay, well, what sport is testing everything?
I don't know, but not even that. I think it's definitely not improbable, because I think that you cannot find another individual on planet Earth that can snatch as much as them, clean and jerk as much as them, squat, bench, deadlift as much as them, run as fast as them, run as long as them, row as well as them, swim as well as them. You cannot find that.
Well, you don't know that.
Well, find me it.
No, it's not my
And prove
job.
my thesis wrong.
That's not my job.
but it is
It's not my job to find it.
This is a way to look at it.
It is your job to find it, because it's your argument. My argument is here. Look, it's there. It's in front of you. The evidence is presented. The competition's there. The athletes are there. The participants. The volume of participants.
So see a way to
350,000.
look at it. A way to look at it. You're saying about boxing, right? And just bring it back to a one-dimensional thing, and it will carry over to multi-dimensions, right? Mike Tyson's best in the world, right? If someone else was the best in the world, someone would have seen him. Someone would have put him in a fucking ring, right? So typically, the people that are doing it are the best. Typically, there isn't other people better than them.
Yeah.
Because guess what? People have fucking eyes, right? So if like someone is that good, someone would see them. Because how else are they going to get that good? Not their fucking self in their bedroom or in a garage.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? In front of other people. So typically, if someone's competing and they're winning, it's because they are the fucking best.
Because we're speaking of two different things here, Evan. I'm speaking of facts. You're speaking of feelings.
You're speaking in like absolutes. I'm speaking of facts.
No, how are you speaking in facts? Because I'm presenting evidence. I'm presenting evidence to you.
No, you're
Here's the competition.
you're presenting a way of thinking. You're not presenting evidence.
There is, right? Here's the evidence. The evidence is, find me a competition that has over 350,000 people competing in it.
See, to get to the crux of it, right? To get to the crux of it, you would need to actually test every single person on Earth in all of these areas, right? To find the true fittest person in the world, and that is not going to happen.
Goes back to my point again. If they were that good, somebody would have seen them, and they would be competing. So, like, think about it.
Someone was the best fighter in the world. If you replaced your argument with CrossFit,
some say with boxing, that's why I'm using
replaced
boxing.
it with MMA. You replaced it with MMA, right? John Jones is not the best fighter of all time, right? Someone else is, right? That's essentially your argument. You replace CrossFit with MMA, right? John Jones is widely regarded as the best fighter of all time, right? You put him in a room with anyone on planet Earth, everybody would be like, John Jones will win that fight. You put him in a room with Mike Tyson, you put him in a room with Tyson Fury.
What about like Genghis Khan or something?
Right, you put him in a room, someone alive and present today. I don't think Genghis Khan was a fighter. I think he was just a shagger. But
he was a top shagger,
that's by the by, right? Your argument then is saying, no, there's somebody else out there that can do that, right?
That's not what I'm saying.
Yes, it is.
Literally what you're saying.
That's literally what you're saying.
No, I'm saying there could be. There's a difference.
No, he's changed his tune. He's changed your tune.
I'm saying it's not.
You could be saying there is though.
That's not.
It is.
No, you changed your tune because you said
It's saying that it's not impossible, but it is improbable from a numbers perspective.
You said it was more improbable.
I didn't say it was more improbable.
You did.
I can actually go back to the story and
You did
check.
say it's more improbable.
Well, on this podcast, because it's recorded.
Exactly.
He's getting real.
But that is
feisty.
what you're saying though, right?
No.
You're saying you can't call them the fittest because there could be somebody fitter.
Oh, there could be.
Right, so it's we're all saying the exact same thing.
So what we are saying is that we're calling John Jones the pound for pound best fighter of all time.
But we need to stop doing that because there
Someone
could be
else could
somebody
be.
better. But if there was somebody better, there would be somebody better, but there isn't. Because you can't be the best yourself. You can't be the best without being in front of people, right? So we know John Jones is the best because he's in front of the world doing it.
This segues nicely, right? This segues nicely before Evan starts to lose his temper.
I'm not.
I'm just thinking about something. I'm going to get something flung at me here.
No,
this segues nicely into. Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, I just know I'm right. It's okay.
All right, okay. In fact, comments, viewers. What do you think? What do you think? What is the most difficult sport in the world? So this changes what we're talking about and changes to what is the most difficult. And actually, there's the thing I meant to speak about last week, and I actually seen a post, right? I'm going to see if I've still got it and I still pull it up.
Difficult sport in the world.
But basically this guy took 20 sports took like powerlifting, long distance swimming, volleyball, basketball, football, American football, MMA, rugby, all the rest of it, and categorised them into 10 different things, and marked them 1 through 10 in terms of the degree in which they're required. So essentially endurance, if you look at endurance, strength, neurological was one, so like the impact on your brain for like rugby or boxing or stuff like that, flexibility, agility, all these things, and basically mark them 1 through 10, 1 being not really required, 10 being max. So for example, triathlons would be like a 1 for strength, whereas Olympic weightlifting or powerlifting would be a 10. Now I remember the top 2. I'm going to see if I can try and find the third one.
I feel like there should be one in there for death.
Let's discuss
one that's
good
closest to death.
Between the two of you, right? Chat about what, as I find the post, what you think
Free
is
climbing.
the most difficult
I said that.
sport.
Did you
I said
actually?
rock climbing.
That's what I meant. Rock
Aye.
climbing.
Yeah, no,
free
I said,
climbing,
yeah.
I'd say the most difficult, because it like unless there is one other sport out there that's you're that close to death, one mistake,
You
and
die.
you're dead. There is no ifs or buts. You are dead. I
So,
don't know what else that there is out there that you can say that.
It would be. I don't
Probably is, but
but the
like,
probability of death, does that make something difficult?
I would say so. I would say it should be flung in the argument,
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
A consideration.
because then you look at that, right? So you then look at the kind of ability of endurance you would need, the ability of strength you would need,
The ability to not die.
coordination, mindset. Like, so you could argue like it's up there,
Well,
and then that just tips it with the you could die with one mistake.
I actually need to find if rock climbing was on it. It was nowhere, or free climbing. It was not near the top though. It was not near the top. Do you want to know? And I think that you two will probably agree with the top answer, because I do.
Is it a combat sport?
Yes.
Is it MMA?
Yes. That was regarded as
Wow.
the most difficult.
I felt like we were playing a board game there.
I
Does he
know.
have a mustache?
Is he wearing a hat? That was regarded as the most difficult. Now here's one for you. What was the second? Again, I'm trying to fucking think.
So does MMA cover all aspects? Kickboxing, boxing.
Fighting sport.
That's what mixed
Oh.
martial arts is. Yeah.
So I know.
Yeah.
I know, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Oh,
talking about.
yeah.
But, well, technically, boxing's boxing.
Is the second one
MMA is
boxing?
MMA.
No, boxing is on the category, but it's not second. Where the fuck's the post? I should have screenshotted it.
Sumo wrestling.
No.
No, I was just thinking.
I tell you what, right?
Guys,
A
like-
ball's involved.
Football,
It's going to be American football, isn't it?
No,
volleyball,
bro.
Table
basketball,
tennis. Rugby.
tennis.
Rugby.
Rugby. So, yeah, MMA number one.
It's an egg, not a ball.
Rugby, right, was number 2. Wrestling was number 3.
Mm-hmm. Like Roman Greco style
Yeah.
vibes.
Hockey or box. If it says football and in brackets skill, the thing is, I should have probably watched the guy's full length podcast, but it was a guy called Chad Wesley Smith, and he said, what is the most difficult sport in the world? I ranked 39 sports from 1 to 10 in 10 categories like power, speed, coordination, tactical demands, to give an objective look at what is the most difficult sport in the world. Do you agree? What did I get wrong? Now, obviously, people are fucking mega butthurt because, like, all 3 of us in here, we've got 3 different opinions. People are like, powerlifting should be number 1, right? Chad Wesley Smith commented
Wow.
saying, as someone who has done powerlifting at the highest level and competed or coached many other sports at very high levels, no, it shouldn't be number 1. Which I agree. People just like to say that
Their sport is the
their
hardest.
sport.
Of course.
Another comment, it's easy to tell you didn't play football. And he went, played football in high school, coached high school, trained youth NFL players.
But this is the people get so caught up in their biases
Yeah.
about it, just like you two guys in CrossFit and all that. But that's by the by. We're not going to chat about that. We've already spoke about it. But people get very,
well,
very caught up
technically,
in.
I'm a runner,
He's
so I've got I've got a outside point of view.
You're an
you know?
independent adjudicator.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I am.
It wouldn't be accepted in a study because he does CrossFit too. He's a member of CrossFit gym. But anyway,
It's because it's an elite way of training, isn't it?
Like, elite
Hold on,
can,
keep
elite,
stay on fucking topic,
elite
right?
can recognise elite. That's
Yeah.
Exactly. My guy. Anyway, another comment. So
2 sec. Are you not roasted right now?
I'm biling, man. I'm sweating. Is this a joke? Elite swimmers train 45 plus hours a week, swim over 70k a week with 5 strength sessions, is performed in water, in brackets not natural to humans. So an extreme amount of skill is fucking blah, they fucking blah. Chad Wesley Smith, you're right. Swimming is now number 1. But like, yeah, it's people are fucking really butthurt in the comments, and a lot of this thing. So I look through it, and it's like MMA, rugby, wrestling, football, skill. Don't really know what that is. Hockey, boxing, gymnastics, basketball, soccer, football, and then in brackets line, lacrosse, then tennis, skiing, track and field, volleyball, water
Skiing?
polo, then rock climbing is
F1,
down.
man. Is F1 one now?
Rock climbing is down at 17, and this is the thing. There's going to be sports in there that
Should maybe be higher.
that maybe should be in and be higher than a lot of these ones. CrossFit, perhaps.
There's no ball, so it's not a sport. Continue.
There's no
Well,
ball in
technically,
MMA.
Shinty? Is Shinty in it?
There's a med ball, bro. Sport.
Medball. Yeah, I think the swimmers and the powerlifters get butthurt because they're the last two things on this guy's list.
Because our sports aren't fucking popular. That's
Because
why.
our sports are shite.
Yeah, exactly.
How many cans of Monster can you drink?
Golf's above swimming distance. I think that hurt. The,
No, is they?
Yeah.
Is it?
Mate,
Yeah,
triathlon is actually number 20 on that list.
I would actually put swimming up, like endurance swimming up there, man.
But the thing is, you
Fuck
need
that,
to bear in
man.
mind this has been.
Thought about rather than us just speaking
Oh.
about it.
Have I lost audio? Am I on? Right,
Yep.
we're back.
Oh, you can fix it.
We're back.
Technician.
What the fuck was I saying? I forgot what I was saying.
Triathlon,
My cock fell
swimming.
out there. Yeah, I
You
think
see my cock fell out.
my cock fell out. I think that people do get tied up into their biases, but I think that. Oh, sorry, no, that's what we're talking about. With the thing, it's scored across like lots of different things. So it's very enduring, really enduring. But
But
then-
it lacks strength. And
but
it
there's
lack-
no
like-
strength
yeah.
really required to it. There's maybe no neurological things that are impacted in it unless you drown. And then your brain gets
You
fucking
die.
full of water. Whereas with like MMA or rugby, there's strength, there's endurance, there's agility, there's skill
The
needed.
short shorts.
Yeah, there's short shorts.
And both.
Yeah, boy. Showers.
I would argue with anyone, and even it's not just because I played it for many years and still do. I would argue that you'd struggle to find a harder sport than rugby in almost every avenue. Almost MMA is up there, obviously between MMA and
Rugby.
rugby. I think that rugby requires, obviously there's a ball involved in this teamwork. So I think if you look at the hardest team sport in the world, I think it's rugby. If you look at the hardest individual sport in the world, I think it's MMA.
I would probably agree with that.
Yeah.
Fair assessment.
I don't really think that there's much between the two, but
Anything else you want to say?
no, I'm happy with that. You happy with that?
I'm happy with it.
You happy with that?
Check us out.
I had a good time. You just have a good time.
I had a good time today. We had a good time. Evan's blood pressure's really high right now.
Aye.
Oh no, it's
The cheeks
difficult.
are a
It's
bit
difficult
rosy.
when you're speaking to idiots.
I knew you would try and say that. He's trying to deflect. He's trying to deflect and say
Here,
that we're
just
idiots.
wait for the comments. People say that he's a learned gentleman that has a very cohesive
You actually
argument.
didn't make a point though. No, I wasn't saying that.
Yeah.
I feel like our points were a lot better than yours.
No, you guys were biased, and I was facts.
I wasn't biased at all.
No, you.
I actually was very
Paul will agree. Off camera, Paul will agree. So
maybe.
check us out.
I would actually like to. I'd like what other people's thoughts are on that, because again, I'm not
Aye.
like those butt hurt comments.
Remember, these are just opinions.
Aye.
Don't be a wee butterfly.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Get upset.
I know. Anyway,
But definitely agree with me.
that was episode 60 something. Do the usual, like, comment, subscribe. Don't be a hole.
Share the show.
Peace.
Here we go.
Catch you.